They are literally running through the neighborhoods trying to find a yes. The problem is they're mistrained on saying, I don't need to become a better salesperson, and I'm trying to find a no that I turn into a yes. So what did you learn or notice about the home that we sold?
It wasn't that beat up. I mean, it was relatively new. The one that you got Corey on the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he said no. He was like, no, we're gonna pass. And Sam was just kind of like, oh, well, we're not gonna like sell you a new roof. We're just gonna like hop up there and take a look. And he was like, oh, okay.
Like he said no like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Like, dude, no.
We're gonna pass.
And then his son came out, who was actually the homeowner when we were gonna go to the roof. And what did he say?
I wasn't there for that.
Oh, you weren't?
I
So
saw
he
him
comes
come
out.
out. He was
What
like,
did he
"Oh,
say?
He was like, oh no, we're all set. It was my dad or whatever.
And what did I say?
I was walking away and do that part.
Who was with me? Corey was with me.
Corey.
Yeah, cool.
So homeboy comes out the house, his son, and he goes, no, dude, we're not interested. Sorry, that was my dad. We're selling the house right now. Like, no way. What do I say?
Raise the value of your home.
Out the other, and I go, awesome! And I keep going. Objections, it's a smoke screen. You guys gotta realize that is a smoke screen. Pest control people, in my opinion, no offense, like obviously we're not doing pest control anymore. In my opinion, they get trained wrong because they literally get smoke screens and they're just like, it's not worth my time to go to the next door. And I'm like, what? Be the salesman. Stand in the pocket. So think of like a football quarterback. You got dudes, tackles, everybody pushing to come in, and you're just like, cool as a cucumber. It's like mayhem, but you're just like, got him, right? So stay in the pocket, because if they jumble you and they throw you off and they hit you, you're like, I'm just gonna fall over and go, right? You're just like, better just like fall. No, they hit you and they bump you. You're like, oh, geez, stop pushing back. I gotta find my wide receiver. Ow, got this. Like, see what I mean? Like, think of
I
it
felt
like
that yesterday. I had one guy just, it was like for the door-to-door dudes rock thing. I told him, I was like, this is all I really need you to do. And he was like, yeah, I just don't want to fucking do that. He slams the door in my face. And I'm just like, okay, on to the next. Just like, oh, fuck.
It's great. Then you move on.
Yeah, I laughed about it and then I went to the next
Yeah, you
one.
laugh about it and move on. Okay, so stay in the pocket, and that's what if I walk away with one thing. So when I was in my first 3 years of doing this, I in any sales meeting, my objective was to say, what's the one thing I'm going to go home and implement today? So if you guys run sales meetings Tuesdays through Saturdays, the invitation I have is I would do the same thing I did, and I wrote it right here in my hand. And the next meeting, I'd be like erasing my hand, and then I'd rewrite the new one. And so when I'm out knocking, and I'd be like this, and I'd be like, okay, that's my one thing. So if my one thing today is I'm going to be over the top, it's staying in the pocket. Does that make sense? Like I'm going to take 6 to the point where they're like the lesbian chicks are like, yeah. They're like, I'm not trying to get the cop involved on me. I'm not going to be any dick. I'm always going to take the high road. I'm just not going to like dip. I'm going to be a strong A quarterback that I'm hard to pull down. Feel me?
Yeah.
So that's my one thing. So what's the one thing today that we implement? What is it?
Stay in the
Stay in the pocket. Tomorrow, when you run a sales meeting, you're going to say, cool, I got really good at that. Or I really did work on that. That's kind of fun. I added that to my tool belt. And then maybe tomorrow you work on not interested. And then you have the one-liner. It's like, that's fine, just so you know. You write that in your hand. So I'm going to get really good at coming over the not interested. Yes. The guy's like, just not interested. Like, oh, that's fine, just so you know. And you just practice that one line. It's like, then you become the master of that.
Oh.
You feel me? So like all my word that I'm thinking this whole day, he's like, don't want it. Oh, that's fine, just so you know. And I'm like, and I say it at the same time every time. Did you notice? I got like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
And I do the hand. Those are all things that I practiced. I do the head, I do a hand, and we don't want to get into the whole weeds of body language. I go, oh, that's fine, just so you know. And all of a sudden, I'm like Yoda right there, and they go, oh, I know. I'm going to keep listening to you. Seriously.
Well, that's fine. Just so I know.
I need to keep listening. And I know I got another 30 seconds every time, the way that I do it. I didn't get you to buy yet, but I bought 30 seconds of your time. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So-
Chaz had a really good one for that too, which was just like, that's not very interesting, but it is super important. You know, something like that.
Yeah.
Just take that word and kind of flip it on them.
My favorite icebreaker, I just did a podcast last week. And, or no, who was I with? Yeah, no, I was consulting last week in Dallas. And we were just jamming on one-liners. And, so literally yesterday, or was it? No, 2 days ago, I'm knocking with John out in Dallas. And he said this line, I really liked it, so I wrote it on my hand. And it had been a minute since I'd written anything on my hand. And so we got knocking, and I was like, I want to try this line. And it was, hey, I know I don't want to be here just as much as you don't want me to be here. So, and then I started my door approach. And it was a great icebreaker. It's like, hey, I don't want to be here just as much as you don't want me to be here.
Yeah.
So I gotta go. Let's get this thing over with. And anyway, what we do, and they just laugh, and they were like, that is true. And you're just like, yep. And now what are you gonna say? It's like, so I took away the not interested because like I'm not.
Because they're like, nobody wants to be doing this, so let's just do it together.
Yeah, kind of empathy.
We're all gonna hate it together.
We're all gonna hate this together, but anyway,
Sure.
I gotta do it. And it was fun. Like I wrote that down. I was like, I want to play with that one today. Then variations and add that to my tool belt. See what I'm doing? And I still do it.
That might be a good one for like when somebody's just like, I had one last night who like cracked the door and she's like not interested, and then just like tried to close it, you know?
Yeah, that's a good one.
And
Exactly.
then just be like, look, I don't want to be here as much as you don't want me to be here, but like I have
And all
to
of
do
a sudden,
this.
yeah, and then all of a
I have
sudden,
to check you off this list. Like,
there you go.
Yeah.
See how that's kind of like creative?
Yeah.
So like one that I loved 3 years ago at DDDCon, Mike O'Donnell says this, and it just was like revolutionary to my door pitch. For example, wrote it on my hand. I'm literally running the event. Meet a dude that's one of the best guys out in the country at this, and he says, "This is his pitch." And I was like, "I'm gonna try that. That's interesting." Knocks door. Hey, I gotta go. That's the first thing he says. Hey, sorry, I gotta go, but I just didn't. I wanted to catch it before I had to go. That's his thing. And I was like, interesting. I gotta go. That's the first thing you say when you come to them. And it works. And I'm like, I see the psychology behind it because it takes away all the pressure and they can't be like, well, I'm busy. Like, yeah, I gotta go. I actually have another one I gotta run to. I don't want to leave you out. So I don't know if your neighbors told you I'd be stopping by, but what we've been doing, and then I go into it. And if you notice, the stance here is I have 1 foot going this way, 1 foot going this way. If my feet are both facing you, I'm coming. Does that make sense? So even your foot posture, if you go like this, they'll pick up subconsciously. We pay attention to these things, and they'll feel like I'm leaning this way. So they feel like I'm already on my way out, so their balls actually will drop subconsciously. Interesting.
Yeah, I actually have a really good one that uses the same psychology, and it's just super simple. I'll knock the door and I'll say, "Hey, I'm so sorry to bother you. I'm gonna be super quick." And then what that does, it eliminates like the most common objections of, "Hey, I don't have time," or "I'm not interested." And then "so sorry to bother you," it kind of gets them, like it makes them feel like they're causing the bother to me. So it makes them like subconsciously cater to me the rest of the pitch.
100%.
And then
Great
the same
idea.
thing, I'm gonna be out here super quick, that way they can't bring up, "Hey, it's not a good time," or whatever. Or "I'm not interested." It's like, "I'll be out here in just a second."
So what do? You write it in your hand, and you say, today I'm going to really practice that one.
Yeah.
And then what happens is it starts to get ingrained into you to where you're not having to think about the one lines. They just get rattled off in the right moments.
Yeah. Because that's what I was telling them earlier. Like, I feel like I'm at a point where like I'm learning all these like great like one-liners, and then like almost come out on the door, and then I'm like, oh shit, that was good.
Yeah, you're like,
But-
fire.
Oh
Like,
no.
No, so this
Cool.
is practice. So it's called
Yeah.
deliberate practice. So when you guys run your sales meetings, what do? You actually rehearse these.
Right.
So that's why I said, oh, that's fine. Just I
Yeah.
do the thing. I'm actually deliberately practicing it, and then I'm out in the field, I'm deliberately practicing it. I get 100 of these opportunities where it's like, that didn't work on that one, I'll never see them again. Right on this one, you know what I mean? Like, do it differently. And I'm fine tuning and I'm tweaking. Well, that's been 17, 18 years of that, you know what I mean? And I wasn't probably deliberately practicing like I was until probably 2008, 2009. But I'm obsessed with saying, how do I master this? If I'm gonna be professional at this and make professional man money, then why wouldn't I master that? Do you think Tiger Woods, like, I just remember Tiger Woods literally on ESPN, this was probably like 6 years ago, the announcers were like, there's Tiger Woods working with his chipping coach, or his sand coach. And I was like, Tiger Woods has a sand coach. It's Tiger effing Woods. Like, and he's working on his sand shot. Like, you know what I mean? Well, he's trying to perfect the sand shot. Like, okay. Tiger effing Woods, one of the most highly paid athletes in the world, has a coach working on his sand shot. If I want to be a highly paid athlete, I look at us as athletes. Yet you think you just show up, go out, and make money. That is not the case. Okay, so objective today is what?
There's
Stay in
a
the
lot.
Stay in the pocket.